On the West Tyne Light Network, we have the cricket scores for Tynedale and the West Tyne, courtesy of the Hexham Courant, which is celebrating its 150th year in existence. The headline is Catch of the Day Helps Take Cup to Corbridge. The report is written by David Coulter. A stunning batting display by Corbridge's hard hitters was eclipsed by one of the most remarkable caught and bowls ever likely to be recorded in these parts. While the outcome of the Wilson Cup final with Bates Cottages had already been settled in their favour, with thanks to some brilliant batting, all talk post-match was of the exceptional moment in the field which had everybody stopped in their tracks in disbelief. With a shot from Jamie Heathcote, hurtling for a six, young George Ridley plucked it out of the air right on the boundary. Falling back after jumping high, and in danger of carrying the ball over the rope, Ridley somehow managed to conjure the strength to throw the ball all of 30 yards and into the hands of bowler Fowler for an astonishing caught and bowled. The catch, however, was not the only highlight of a fantastic all-round team performance by Corbridge, who missed out on the prestigious cup last year by just one run to higher opposition Bedlington. They were focused on the goal from the moment they arrived at Jasmine Cricket Club, their batting order unleashing fury to finish their 20 overs on an impressive 160 for 5. Skipper Fowler was in particularly ruthless mood, and he cleared the high perimeter fence with one of his 3 sixes, as well as hitting 6 fours on his way to a formidable 75. He put on a commanding first wicket stand with Andy Percival, both contributing big scores to make 83, until Percival finally met his end when he looped a straightforward catch into the hands of bowler Ross Symington. In came Tris Douglas as his replacement, but he was not able to display his trademark aggressive streak, trapped LBW to give the bowler a second wicket. With Fowler still impressing, Matty Thompson showed attacking intent from the start, and the pair's stand of 26 pushed Corbridge well past the 100 mark. The skipper's time at the crease came to an end 2 minutes before the hour elapsed. His barnstorming knock finished as his bails were sent flying by Michael Telford. His dismissal saw Thompson step up to the mark to keep the run rate up, hitting 17 runs in the 2 overs following Fowler's removal. Andy Dover hit a 4, but Telford got his own back by bowling him in the next over, while Ross Atkinson was well caught by Martin Elliott in the final over with a score on 152 for 5. Australian Mark Ryan then set up Thompson to face the final ball of the innings, and he rounded off a good evening with the bat by recording his 5th 4 to see Corbridge to a nice round 160. While Matty Walton hit a 4 off David Hardy in the opening over of the Bates reply, it was a false dawn, as they never looked like troubling the Corbridge total. In fact, the batsman was back in the pavilion the following over, as the impressive Dover took his first of 5 wickets, with Walton going to catch a fine 1 from Ryan. Despite struggling with an injury, he picked up bowling in his first over. Dover then claimed a victim in each of his next 4 overs. Martin Golightly went LBW. Paul Baston was caught behind by the keeper. Joe Mervyn was clean bowled, and Telford fell to the same fate. In between, veteran David Smurthwaite displayed great alertness to run out Malcolm Welch, who was caught out going for a run which wasn't there. Struggling on 59 for 6 after 10 overs, Bates' case was not helped when Danger Man Symington was adjudged LBW for marine delivery. By this point, the towel was truly thrown in, and Paul Merriweather was bowled by Fowler for a duck to take the score to 64 for 8. Heathcote and Elliott were not willing to call it a night just yet though, and put on 16 until Heathcote was sent packing by an unbelievable moment of the game which saw Fowler claim a catch due to the fantastic efforts on the boundary by Ridley. Hardy returned to the bowling attack, and it was over to him to bring the game to an end in the 15th over. claiming a return catch off Elliott to see Bates a disappointing 70 runs shy. The scoreboard: Corbridge made 160 for 5, Bates Cottages made 90 all out, Corbridge won by 70 runs. Now we move to the Justsport West Tyne League Division 1, and the headline is Scampy chips in with unbeaten 113. With a mixture of elegant shot making and powerful blows, Wylam's Mark Rowell helped narrow the gap on second place Hexham Leazers. By hitting the side's first ton of the season, the man they called Scampy saw the third place side to a convincing 88-run victory to mark the annual Vice President's Day in style. Winning the toss was always going to prove crucial, and home skipper Alex Rayner had no hesitation in putting Wylam into bat on a flat pitch. But Leazers began strongly, as Scott Ferguson claimed Mark Wilson early on, and Dan Toward produced two excellent deliveries to remove Andy Payton and Rayner. At 53 for 3, the Wylam innings needed a strong partnership, and Rowell and Steve Wilson did not disappoint, as they put on 87 runs for the fourth wicket until Paul Newton trapped Wilson in front. James Teasdale joined Rowell at the crease with Wylam on 140 for 4, and helped accelerate the run rate as his partner passed his 100. Teasdale struck some lusty boundaries as the home side posted a big total of 269 for 4 for their rivals to chase. Without absent captain Ben Griffiths, Leazers got off to a stuttering start as Ben Duncan had Ben Thompson bowled early. Matt Joyce and Newton combined to put on 54 for the second wicket to put the chase back on track, but two excellent quick wickets from the excellent Kevin Marshall followed, both to catches by Steve Wilson. Wickets continued to fall as Marshall had Andrew Webster trapped and Stephen Donaldson was caught by Payton off the bowling of Steve Wilson. Andrew Brown and Nick Stevenson formed a strong partnership to consolidate Leazer's innings and deny Wylam 2 extra points as they reached their innings end on 181 for 5. League leaders Hayden Bridge recovered from a shaky start at hosts Mitford to take advantage and extend the margin at the top to 16 points with 7 games to go. Second bottom Mitford looked likely to cause a shock as, after winning the toss and electing to bowl first, a fine spell of pace bowling by South African import Andrew O'Neill reduced the Bridge to 98 for 5. However, some loose bowling towards the end of the innings was punished and a steady knock from John Kirkup saw the front runners recover to 198 for 8 before declaring. A bad start from the home side saw both openers out with a total on 11, but a steady knock from the rejuvenated Jack Taylor and a plucky 43 from skipper Terry Dunn kept them in the game. Yet it was never enough, as Jamie Taylor ended with 5 wickets and Joe Barber with 3. It was a mixed bag with the ball for Stocksfield seconds, as despite some great performances from their youngsters, they conceded 41 extras in their 5-wicket victory over main rivals Prudhoe. Johnny Tobin kept things tight at the end with 4 maidens from his 6 overs, as he took a fantastic 3 for 2, while Ben Hutton impressed with 5 wickets on his return from injury, and James Tolcott bowled well without reward. Gavin Howden and Zach Walker showed some resistance for Prudhoe, but their total of 107 was significantly boosted by the extras column. Graham Tolcott started well in reply for Stocksfield, but Prudhoe were back in the game as they claimed 5 wickets through 3 from Colin Coulson and 2 from teenager Ryan Chamberlain. Yet it was firmly put beyond them when the league's leading run scorer Sam Beadle came into bat, continuing his good form along with Paul Watson to keep up the pressure towards the top of the table. Hum's half were a close 5th, as some top batting from Patrick McClendon and more excellent bowling from that stalwart Dickie Purvis saw them defeat bottom club Stamfordham by 119 runs. The hosts had been steady away until the arrival of McClendon at number 4, as he whacked his way to a century with 14 fours and 4 sixes. Despite 3 wickets towards the end of the innings by Stamfordham danger man Richard Gardner, the home side put on 207 for their guests to chase down. Purvis continues to challenge towards the top of the league bowling averages, as he made it 31 wickets for the season by taking a whopping 7 at the expense of just 21, to limit Stamfordham to just 88 as a team. Making his debut since recently making the trip from Neighbours to Hayden Bridge, Dan Kirkup made a big impact as he helped new side Haltwhistle to victory at Matfin Hall. Taking 3 vital wickets and then top scoring in reply, he guided Halty to a 5-wicket success which moved them 1 place to 9th. His spell with the ball, which saw him remove the dangerous Mitch Ross with his first delivery, was eclipsed by that of John Armstrong, as he removed 4 batsmen in 1 over to damp Matfin's charge as they ended up on just 72. Kelly Withercombe was the only standout player for the home side, as she saw out a barrage of short pitch bowling from Carl Bell to finish not out. Haltwhistle's reply was a bit shaky, as Philip Thompson was removed in the first over, but father and son team Michael and Dan Parker steadied the ship. The visitors experienced a bit of a wobble with Matfin removing a few quick wickets, but it was Kirkup who came in and demolished the bowlers to earn the victory. In an entertaining game at Stamfordham, Allendale defeated Benwell Hill thirds by 10 runs, as they managed to defend their total of 189. Dale got off to a good start through openers John Welsh and Kendall Nolan, which was improved later on in the innings by good knocks from Chris Rutherford and Chris Welch. Hill looked in the chase with Captain David Ladd and Sutherpian making good contributions, while Deshauna took it to the Dale bowlers with an unbeaten half-ton. However, the damage had been done early on, as Allendale's opening bowling pair of Amit Sundar and Nolan shared 6 wickets to help restrict Benwell to 179. And the league table, Division 1, Hayden Bridge at top, with 136, 16 points clear of Hexham Leazers on 120. At the bottom, it's Pudder on 81, Mitford on 77, and Stamfordham are bottom with 60 points. And that's the cricket scores from the West Tyne and Tynedale. We'll just go to the Tynedale game now. With 8 games to go, Tynedale reclaimed top spot in the Northumberland and Tyneside Senior League, courtesy of a thumping 151 victory over Alnmouth and Lesbury. Tynedale made 256 for 8. Alnmouth and Lesbury made 105 all out. Tynedale won by 151 runs.